Well, I've always said this guy has a dream job. We need to get our people to work at Media Matters because they get paid to follow our social media and to transcribe our videos and stuff. That's like a dream. The next time Media Matters is hiring, I'm going to send out the link and try to get my people to get one of those jobs and let Soros pay our people to watch us. That would be a great deal.
Exactly. I want to get some secretaries that can transcribe. We don't have the money. I mean, I'm almost thankful to George Soros.
No, I'm totally thankful because when I do long interviews, I will often get them. I pay a transcription service. So if Soros, he does it for free when I come on your show. It's a great service. I'm very grateful. Oh, the Southern Poverty Law Center, they also do that. Jared Holt, shout out to Jared. He does very great work in transcribing everything we do, writing it up and everything. So I would like to give a shout out to Jared Holt, the Southern Poverty Law Center. I thank you for the great work you're doing and helping me keep track of my media appearances on the Alex Jones Show. I'm very grateful.
All right, Paul Watson, we'll keep watching what you're doing. Thank you so much, my friend.
All right, thanks, Alex.
Valerie just hung up from Europe. I wanted her to finish her story. I apologize. We're going to go to Jim here in just a moment, then I'm going to punch out and let Mike Cernovich take over. But seriously, Mike, before I go to Jim, what is your real gut-level thing on the Dreamer? Because all I know is that Trump said he'd kill the executive order. It was unconstitutional. He'd put it back to Congress. And then he's saying, yeah, he's open for folks that have already been here 20 years, you know, who have good jobs or whatever, to get a green card quicker. I mean, I don't see that as blanket amnesty. I don't see it as caving in. I'm not an apologist for Trump either. I just don't get burning the hats and, you know, Pat Buchanan's like running off the edge of a cliff. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so can I just join this thing? I mean, should I have voted for Hillary? What's happening here?
Okay, so here's the big issue. The big issue is that General Kelly, this has now been reported by Maggie Haberman in the New York Times, and we might like to make fun of the New York Times, but Trump and Maggie Haberman talk all the time. And Jonathan Swan, who's also very good at Axios, they've all confirmed my reporting, which is that General Kelly has cut off any right-wing or conservative or alternative media from reading him. So the only way to get Trump's attention is you have to just go, you have to burn the MAGA hat. It isn't that you believe in burning the MAGA hat or you're really that upset, but at this point in time, you can't just write an article right now and then it'll get to Trump and Trump will read it and know what the base is thinking. The only way now to get Trump's attention, because General Kelly—
I get it. You got to pull a stunt. So, guys, get me a bottle of hairspray or something. Get me a MAGA hat. My kids all have them at home. I'm going to flamethrow one just to get Trump's attention. Now I see what you're saying, Cernovich.
Right, exactly. So what Trump responds to is aggressive negotiation, and what a lot of people lose sight of, and that's why like 700 people unfollow me at Twitter because they don't really understand what I'm doing, and that's fine because I don't want people to read me who don't understand anyway, is that when Trump is making a negotiation with his supporters, we have to go back equally extreme, and we have to say we're going to burn—
Well, no, I agree. The Republicans have deserted him. He's isolated. The only movement he's got is Democrats to energize his base. He's waking the base up.
Right. Exactly. So when people burn the MAGA hat, I don't endorse that. I'm not anti-Trump, and I don't endorse people burning the MAGA hat except as a stunt to say, look, Trump, this is how bad it's getting. You better start reading Breitbart again. You better tell Kelly, I need 5 articles a day from Breitbart, InfoWars, Daily Caller, Cernovich, Twitter, Circa. I need real information because Fox and Friends, they're all pro-amnesty anyway. Rubio and Murdoch conspired for the Gang of 8 bill.
I totally agree. You're always so on target, Mike. It's why I'm so honored to have you here with us. You're right. It's that we've been screwed so much. We trust him, but we don't trust them. And you're right. It's okay to get pissed and okay to say you better watch your ass.
Yeah, exactly. We have to show extremes. That's Trump responds to that. I wrote a book on Trump. A lot of people forget that. They go, oh, Cernovich, maybe if you read Trump's book. I wrote a great book on Trump where I talk about what he does. And then I explained this is why I react away, because Trump doesn't react well to moderate people.
No, he doesn't. He listens to hardcore focused stuff. So expanding on that, I'm going to go to this one call and let you take over. Well, I know you want us to stay with you, but I'm going to let you rant yourself, which is great.
No, just hang out.
Overall, though, he is completely isolated, though, and that really does worry me. I mean, his main bodyguard resigning, and we now know because Kelly wouldn't even let him see his best friend. I mean, that doesn't sound like command and control. That sounds like prison.
Well, it sounds like house arrest. When I broke the story for Infowars.com that Trump was essentially on house arrest.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, people go, oh, he's not literally. I'm like, yeah, I know it's not literal, guys. It's called a metaphor.
Oh, yeah, prisoners get control, but they can read.
Right, exactly. So in a way, he is actually on more house arrest than prisoners, because in prison, you have a prison library and you have books. So yeah, people were like, oh, Cernovich lying again. And then, of course, 2 weeks later, everybody confirms what I've said, which is that Kelly has isolated Trump from all media that's actually pro-Trump and supports Trump. And that's a really big issue. So that's why the burning the MAGA hat, I didn't even think about it. I was jealous when I saw the kid do it. I go, this is a smart kid. This guy has good instincts. That is going to get a lot of
now that you said that, I realize I'm wrong. Can somebody get a MAGA hat right now? Get the Trump flag out of the deal. I'm going to, like, flamethrow everything as soon as we get off air.
Yeah, and then that'll get their attention. And then the media will get the attention. So, for example, I did a whole Periscope on how I was doing a pivot away from Trump. And, a lot of my followers got angry or whatever, but that got big media coverage. That was like a big story. That got attention. And then I did a video. I go, Trump doesn't care about his supporters being beaten up by Antifa. Proof is that he's never said anything about Antifa. 4 days later, Trump comes out and goes, they're these really bad people, Antifa. We got to do something about it. Now they're being called terrorists.
No, that's the thing. He's very responsive. Jim, former CIA case officer, he says, on terrorism. You're on the air. Thanks for holding for an hour.
Oh, thank you very much. It's an honor to talk to you, sir. And Mike, I'm very happy to talk to you, too.
Back at you.
Yeah, I joined the agency in January of 1981. I was sworn in the day before Reagan was sworn in as president. I was a graduate of Stanford Law School. And the reason I'm bringing up Stanford, Mr. Schreier last week had a bunch of liberals on complaining that the people that listen to your show are basically high school dropouts, losers, you name it. I've got a bachelor's from a Jesuit university. I got an MBA when I was on active duty with the Air Force. I was a Minuteman Missile Combat Crew Commander, 10 nuclear-armed missiles aimed at Russia and China before going to Stanford. I was a reserve police officer in the Palo Alto Police Department while at Stanford. And I've done a whole bunch of things after that. So we are not dumb losers.
Well, I'm going to hold you over for the breaks. I went to you late. You sound like you know what you're talking about. But obviously, Democrats on average have the worthless degrees. Conservatives have degrees that actually work. They're smart enough to get degrees that actually work. Go ahead.
Okay, what I wanted to talk about was something that when I went through my special operations course training, basically spy school, in the summer of 1981, our counterterrorism training was put on by 2 FBI agents, and they were focusing on terrorist incidents in Europe, in the Middle East, you name it.
Jim, this is riveting. You've been holding for an hour and a half. I want to come back and hear this because I believe you were a CIA case officer just listening to you. I want to hear this straight ahead with Mike Cernovich, at Cernovich on Twitter. Then I'm going to punch out of here as soon as you're done. Cernovich is going to take over. Then the War Room with Owen Schroyer and Cernovich, we can get him. He's finishing a film right now. He'll be coasting very soon. That's all coming up in 3 minutes. Don't hang up, Jim. I want to hear this straight ahead.
In ancient times, man roamed the earth in a constant state of hunting or being hunted. Introducing Caveman, where cutting-edge science meets ancient super nutrients. Secure your bottle right now at InfoWarsStore.com.